Okay, so in this tutorial I want to talk today about how to draw wheel thread. It's like this surface, and I spent some time to practice this thing. So we'll try to explain the stuff like that. Okay, so let's begin again from basics, just a little fresh. For drawing, wait a second, I check. I need to change my camera. Так. Yes, so I want again to go very quick about basics. So, like drawing three-dimensionally, like box, for example. Right, so we have sides, like planes, sides, and edges, right? These edges. Yeah, and what's interesting moment here, it's just important basics. It's like for box, it's only three set of line. So we have like this line direction, let's say it's X, this line direction, let's call it Y, and this one, it's Z. So we just repeat them and build the box, but it's only three set of line. So when I know directions, then I know where to draw lines, right? So it's like for box, but if for wheel it's like kind of drawing tube. So for tube it's kind of same. Let's say we have this X, we know, right? And so this X will be like a minor axis for circle, for ellipse, and then we have two more lines, let's say like this. So okay, so now we have this line Z, this one Y, and X, which represent minor axis. So if I want to show this wheel width of this wheel, then I use minor axis as like axle, is this like core, right? Which I will draw another ellipse. So this kind of, we have this form of wheel, and it's like this very basic logic I was taught in the previous tutorial, kind of. You can also find it in the books about perspective. So then this is like first basic understanding of form, but then today I want to talk about drawing thread. So how it works. You will need to do subdivisions, this kind of operations. So let's say if we look at this wheel in the front, so it will be like just circle in a square, right? So we can divide it in a halves, so we have quarters. So we have this 4 point with a equal space between all this. So then also if we make lines like this, again we have some equal subdivisions, and then we can just like kind of eyeballing. We can draw like this, or we can draw through center, and we find simultaneously find other side division, right? So this simple thing we just need to do in the perspective, and this kind of important simple operation which we use to draw tire threads. So for example, if I start draw wheel from this box shape, it's kind of, you know, I don't push too hard to make it super correct, but it's kind of, for me it looks like a square in perspective, right? So it should be like kind of, if I look at from front view, it's a square. So I kind of believe a square, I hope so. I know it's not absolutely correct then. Yes, so no, as we did on a previous one tutorial, like you just put this ellipses inside. Okay, so we have again this wheel. So then okay, let's first I do this subdivision. So we do this. So it's like completely same thing, just with conversion. So we have these points, and here just kind of eyeballing. And you can do this without drawing lines through, right? You can just put these dots, but this line also have reason. Later we'll explain how we can use these lines. Because we need these lines, and also we need these dots, and we need these lines too. We need to know how to create them. We need to know how to kind of measure these things. You don't need like every time draw all this, and because it will be like too many lines. Да, так. Меня эти ученики думают, что я так говорю. Вот. Вот. So here, this what we need. We need this kind of lines on a circle side, and this equal kind of, you see, because they're kind of equal space between all of them. This kind of what we need for drawing. It's kind of should be equal, right? But no, because I don't use ruler and stuff like that. Yeah, so it's the first thing. Second thing about every thread is it's a pattern, right? So it's some kind of carving or addition. So let's show you, let's say like this one, right? So it's, we have this, if I just draw it from one side, it's like so kind of you need to find some this regularity in this pattern, at least, and you need to be able at least to draw it two-dimensionally, because if you cannot draw it two-dimensionally, then you, of course, you cannot put this on a perspective, three-dimensional form. So then here have this kind of no, I kind of show this one. So you need to kind of practice this skill to break on a simple parts, on a simple elements. Find this construction kind of simple thing. So pattern, right? So then for drawing we need to combine it together. We need to put this pattern on a round thing, and here is kind of what is everything complicated is this moment when you're just, your mind is blowing because there's so many lines, so many constructive lines. When you try to kind of organize all this, you for example have this point here, right? So it's like, should I draw line ellipse for every this point? Kind of, you know, you can choose this way, like draw all these lines, all these ellipses, but it's just crazy. I cannot do it like this, you know. You need to be cyborg. So then I was thinking how to simplify this thing, how to make it workable. So it should be some like simple steps to which will help you to create this thing. So what I find, we make again, no, if we start again like from box, so you see it's kind of why I drawn all this wheel stuff. It's kind of is good practice for drawing in perspective, and also is perfect practice for drawing ellipses. Так, so again we have this thing. Так, so then we don't need to make too many divisions, even if pattern is very complex, if it's so many small details. Yeah, don't try to draw all this at first. At first let's just draw like this one. Так, here make it a little more like this. And in between. So just like this will be enough for begin. For start drawing this thread. Так, so, and then you think, okay, how will I put this pattern here? So let's show, for example. Так. No, okay, let's say like this. So then you need to carve in it, right? Or edit it. So it's like, no, to edit you will need to move it out. To carve in, you kind of carve from this. And then kind of question is, how do you find these lines? So let me show you. So answer is like you need to know this point, kind of rotation point, right? So we need to see these lines. So for each of this thing, you kind of don't need to draw every time these lines, but you need to at least have couple lines of this, and then if you draw, let's say, take like this. Так. So you see, kind of, I follow kind of to this center here. Same here, it have another center here on a far point. And then do like this. So this line kind of repeats. Oops. So like I can draw any amount of ellipse, follow kind of this curvature. See, like, and you don't need to actually draw full ellipse every time. It's just grid logic, you know, grid. So we need to know directions for our lines. So it should, it's kind of this elliptical direction, elliptical kind of, you know, form. So we know this line which is leaning on this form, they will follow this curvature. Or it can be like lines which follow this kind of axle here. So it's important to understand this logic and just to have couple marks on your picture, or if you're like Kim Jong-gi, you can have all this in your mind, so you don't need to even draw any grid at all, you just already draw it so many times, so it's all in your head. So, and again here you see we have this point for this one, it will be here because this ellipse here, so this point here. So if I draw a line here, it should kind of follow this one. So, and this follow ellipse. So in here for other side, right? So it's more easy kind of here. We just edit this empty parts. Oops. Так. Okay. Так. And this kind of look weird, but it's just for demonstration, this logic. If you want to see kind of more like real wheel, it will be something like this. This will be like another side. And stuff like that. So yeah, so I just show you this idea about grid, kind of this first establishing lines which you need to use for drawing all this thread stuff, for making all these details. Так. So let's kind of try. Okay, so now we can draw some real examples. So what kind of wheels have a motorcycle wheel and some, let's say, tractor. Okay, let's say first I will draw a monster truck wheel kind of. Так. So here. Так. Here will be kind of this thing. Так, so we have this, right? And again, let's repeat this thing. So I will just eyeball him. Так, and here we have this on the bottom. Так, and this one here. Maybe more below. Okay. Ага. Привет. Так, привет. Как там дела в Ростове? Так, okay, so here I will put this так, так. Так, след у нас шел сюда. Холодно, а у нас жара. Жара. Хотя ветер еще прохладно. Вот. Так. Okay. So and then repeat this idea of kind of having this line like a sunbeams kind of towards this center. So have center here, and center here. So these lines go there. Так. Actually, I can use from beginning. Okay. Ого. Так. Ah, also I forgot. Here is have a little this thing. Так. It's kind of like this. We'll go ellipse here. And this stuff go here like this. Давай до встречи. Обнимаю тоже. Эх. Так. So, here's this moment also. So I'm going. Yeah, I forgot to make this side. Okay, we'll make it simple. Так. Так. So kind of this. So here we'll go behind. Yeah, and also it's like kind of if need to make this patterns here, you know, sometimes can be like this. That's why I also need this subdivisions. Or if you want to write something here. Так. Why I moved to Taiwan? Because Taiwan very cool. Here very hot and stuff like that. I like draw Asia, kind of like this region. You can see my drawings mostly kind of Asian city. I'm really boring with drawing, like, how to say, So like Europe architecture stuff is like more difficult for me, not so interesting. Так, so let's kind of similar something, but other type of wheel. Так. Because I was read a lot manga, like you know, Akira and Ghost in a Shell. I see all these crazy landscapes, city landscapes, all this futuristic stuff, and I was thinking like these guys have crazy imagination. But then I go to China, and I've been in Shanghai, Hong Kong, and it's so crazy. It's like it's already look like cyberpunk movie. Also, it's very interesting. You know, always artists show about subdivision ellipse. They recommend to use circle or kind of half circle. So say like you can make these points here and then move them to here. But actually when I draw, I find it's like it's no big difference. At least I don't know, I don't see what's the difference. Somebody know can write me in a message. So if we take this ellipse and we can also separate it like this. So we have, whoops, all this same stuff. Only important it should be like two-dimensionally. You need to look at this ellipse two-dimensionally. Так, okay. So let's take this wheel. This will be and here go like this. Here like this. Так, again from middle move to up, from middle move to up here. And again, so we have this center, and you kind of can draw, or usually actually you don't need to draw all this, it's too much. And here for this ellipse, this center will be same thing. And for this one, if here the surface, like if we look at wheel, this wheel right now is flat like this, right? But often, like this one, it will be little more like this. So how to make this? We have this middle point and we make little extra to here. But what is interesting and important moment, we continue this line and we continue this, so we will have this kind of conus. See? So if I continue this, second, so first I make this one, and then I continue these lines. Okay, now I have this conus here. Why I need this? Because for these lines I will repeat it later again, so don't worry. Так. So now let's take some stronger pen. This 5. Yes, so and now I have carbon. So because now we have this inclined surface, let's make it clearer. Kind of this here. Так. So you see, I follow kind of these lines now. I follow this line which go to this conus, top of conus. Так. And here, and here, yeah, let's do this one first. Or, yeah, let's just make it simple. Так. So we keep this carving, make this double line. So all this is very difficult at the beginning. You really need to spend a lot of time to sitting with this, drawing it again and again, again and again. You need to really be sure you understand how it works, and more you draw, more easy it's for you, and then it's more you do this, less effort you need for each new time. And point of all this is like by drawing stuff like this very slow, well, kind of usually I draw it even more slow. It's just for video I try to make it easier, kind of, you know. But usually it's very slow. You see it and you're like a draftsman trying to figure out all this logic. And then when you need to make quick sketch, you're able to draw it very fast. So here you see again this ellipse, this middle point. So these lines will go here. So then when you practice this stuff, you just sit and draw it, and it's easy, like talking or walking, like riding bicycle. It's absolutely same thing. First it's crazy hard, then it's like stressful, and after you do it absolutely easy without any stress at all. It just became part of you. Так, so let's look on this thing here. Так. Yeah, kind of this, but yeah, now I see, because I didn't make this other side, right? So if I have other side, it will look more like this. Kind of this. Так. And this one, let's work on this. What else we have? Okay, let's do another easy one. Так. Так. So now I draw in same logic. I kind of imagine here this top of this conus, but I don't need to draw, it's in my head. Так, same for other side. Let's say like this. The most craziest wheel I was trying to draw, it's dirt bike. It's crazy, I almost lost my mind. So later I will show you. It's kind of, again, it's like later is not so easy, not so hard to draw when you learn it, but to learn to understand how to draw it, and I cannot say I kind of totally understand. No, I mean, kind of I'm perfect at it. I still practice. Так. And yeah, so here we have this. So you see, this way it's very easy to draw these patterns. You start from lines to show these carvings, and after you put deep kind of three-dimensional effect. Так. So let's see. Here's not much space for this. So like that. that. Let's one more truck wheel. Ah, yeah, I have here very cool wheel. Так. No, here I have a couple very cool wheels. Так. It's kind of, it's more simple ones. Now I will show something more complicated. Так, let me double check. Okay. Let's try different angle. Так, and I will draw middle ellipse. Так, так, just так, так, so we have 3 ellipses. Yeah, and let's do this subdivisions. Так, we have this, then we have go half here, half here. Так, so here, here. Так, so so here will be this thing. Так, I'm not sure proportion yet. Something like that, I think. Let's do middle. Yeah. Like this. Так. So pattern here is like this. So you just keep amplifying it. You see, kind of, it's not only about how to draw it correct, it's also about how to make it simple. So like drawing this way, it's not so difficult if you will see it in a kind of, okay, we have these lines here, and these lines here, then you will like, my brain. Так. No, and it's, yeah, better if you check these lines. Так. This kind of should be on a curve, one curve. So this here. Okay, yeah, better check. Так. Так. And again for this one. No, actually don't need, we keep like this. So we'll have this line here. Так, so now with this pattern, I just make this carving in between. Так. And this stuff I make, yeah, maybe like this here, not too far. Oh, hello to Mexico. Cool. Так. So, and here. So you see, kind of, I follow this line here. And here this kind of interesting moment. We have this side, figure out these things, right? So now we need to transport this to other side. We can do it like this. Same, I follow kind of this. I follow this. Так. So and here for this line it will be this. See? This. Let's go like this here. Так. Here will be some there. Так. I also this thing. Так. Yeah, next time also I will talk about how to draw disc. Так. How to draw this part in the middle, decorating hole. Так. And after, of course, we will go to drawing cars and motorcycles. Also, I want to make tutorial about drawing nature stuff, because some people asking me. It's like I don't really good in drawing trees and flowers and things like this, but if people asking, I can do tutorial, just share my insights. Something what helped me to draw, some kind of tips I use. Also kind of about drawing nature, I just recommend to watch Möbius. From my taste, like Möbius, he draw nature very, very cool. If you find some of his graphics where he draw blueberry, or this like Wild West, desert, and a jungle, he have a lot very cool landscape in his illustrations, comic books. He drew fantastic. It's like very smart approach. So yeah, so you see, kind of often you can leave it like this, but just in terms of practice, let's again re-establish this middle point for this here and for center. So this we have kind of this line, which is a line for all these points where like for directing these lines. So you kind of need to see all them through. Так. So this is very important to, for me, I think it's very important to practice these essential things about how to build in perspective different objects. And like if you draw something, if you you draw wheels, or you draw people, or you draw cars, anything you draw, is better to find some time to learn it, to study how to draw it very what is I don't know how to say, it's like what is rules behind drawing this properly, you know, how to draw it in perspective, scientifically right. And if you're able to do this, then your work will improve. Just even once you can draw any picture right, then it will change all your approach, and all your work of drawing this stuff will improve. Like you practice drawing wheels, but then everything cylindrical, everything like complex forms with rounded surfaces will become more easier for you to draw, and you're kind of thinking about how to figure out how to do this will happen much faster. You will see your object and you will like dun, you know, 1 minute you already know exactly how to draw this, how to build this surface. Wow. Too narrow, so it's degree ellipse too narrow, and I do this kind of stuff. And this here. Like that. So it's like caterpillar wheel, caterpillar thread. Так, so maybe let's try and put. Wow, okay. It's too many water. Okay, no big deal. We'll draw more wheels next time. Так, so what else? I have one more very cool design. one more wheel, one more truck wheel, or we go to sport car. Так. Very cool. This one. Oh, my phone already on a half. Okay, let's go maybe 2 cars. Так. Так. Okay. So let's another like sport car, stuff like that. Так, just this time do it like this. So we have ellipse and we divide it and we divide it like this. Так. So what is pattern here? It's like we have some verticals. Так, change my window. Hello? Так. So here we will try to make this thing. It's like here. So it's kind of this arrow-like pattern. So for beginning, it's just like this. We did these divisions. I find proportion kind of for arrow, and then okay, I already can take my pen and draw it more precise. Just don't waste time to drawing it same thing again and again. So it can be more rounded. Так. Let's do it more rounded shape. So так. Stuff like that. Так. Better. Okay. And so every heel here have this pin. Так. Yeah, maybe better I draw these corners, because that's also drawing on no life, little uncomfortable, so hard to focus. Так. So if you feel it's easier, you can draw this basic pattern and after put more detailed version. Так. So in this kind of very generic. Very often you can see this wavy triangular shape. Triangular. Так. So, same here. I want to make it more dark. Or make it like this. It will be this kind of wheel. So these lines will go here. Так, and something like this. Так, and here, so this other side. Так. Yeah, so it will be here. Так. Again, I think it should be more like this. Yeah. Okay, something like that. And it's a lot kind of patterns like this. You can play with them a lot. So, like, okay, I draw one more. Let's just, for example, так. This time I will again use box. I turn my hand. Так. So we have again division. This joint division. Так. Divisions here. Divisions there. Так. And again, so it's like Formula One wheel. So it will be something like this. The other side, maybe we'll have little like this. Так. And here we'll do 2 more ellipse. Так. Let's say like this. And so from this point we make line to opposite, because here we will have this another thing. Так. So it's like should be kind of opposite. Так. So again, I show you what I mean. Here we have like this, then here. Be like this, kind of this pattern. So it's just 2 blocks, and then you just repeat them, yeah, 1 block, actually 1 block. It's just like this. Here is mother, here is father. Then like this. Then you just repeat the same block. This kind of idea of drawing these patterns, you just find 1 block and then repeat. Then it's easy. You just need to sure it's these points connecting these guides, you know, this should be correct. Так. Okay, and then we have this like snake in between, so it will be like this. Yeah, so just try to organize it so it will be enough space. Так, so maybe kind of like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where's this? It's like so it's like one in the middle and 2 in between. 1 in the middle and 2 in between. No, it's for this my situation here. Так. 2 between. And again, now just draw it with the empty space. Yeah, so in this one, again, it will be similar, this thing. I have no idea what this appendix but I see this in every tire. Look like a branch. Так, so here will be same thing. So you see how I gradually put more complicated elements. Don't try to draw all this from beginning, it's like too crazy. But step by step, so you find more general things, and then you start to put all these smaller details. But you cannot do this from the first attempt. I drew couple wheels, couple hundreds wheels before to understand how it works, and then I found like, this how easy it can be. So again, I say it's like every drawing you do is your current work, but also it's your exercise, because after every picture you have a new skill. After every picture you became kind of better artist. It's kind of more picture you have behind, it's more better kind of you will draw next picture. Yeah, but not just drawing non-stop some nonsense. It should be like better if you draw in like thinking. You study something, like you sit with a book and you draw in these tasks, like Scott Robertson book about drawing. You sit and draw in every subject he explained, and more you draw it, more you repeat it, more you better at this thing. It's became narrower and narrower. Yeah, so next time we'll draw disc. We'll make tutorial about drawing disc, and after will be some drawing nature and drawing vehicles like motorcycles and then cars, trucks, stuff like that. I really like to draw some kind of destruction derby stuff like BeamNG, broken cars, some car chasings. Yeah. Так, here is too narrow. Whoops. Yeah, here was too sloppy. It's this part here. Okay. Kind of this. Так. Так. So we draw this trucks and sport kind of car. Так. What else? Also motorcycle. Так. Yeah, so motorcycle, let's find some interest. Okay. Okay, I have a couple. So let's take this wheel. It will be like this rounded wheel. Так. So one here. This way. Так. Yeah, okay. Or we can draw this wheel like this. Kind of like this. Так. Or like this. It's like just example of three different way of drawing wheel. For me it's like more easy and precise as draw with box. Also because with box you have this kind of, you can connect it with other landscape, because everything is like kind of boxy Так. Okay, so what here? I checked what kind of patterns we have with this. What sport bike. Again, let's do this first divisions. Here. Yeah, so first thing is like you need to have these divisions in all three ellipses. You need to make these points. So for example, I have this point here, and here, and here. I have this point here. So how to do? Again, find it like this. And here. Так, 1, 2, 3. Again, continue this one. Так. Okay. And this one. Way too much here. So you see we have these sections, and now we can put pattern on this section. Так, if we... Так, okay, here. Okay, I will later show it again. Так, so what kind of pattern? Let's choose. Так. Значит... Can be again some arrow kind of. And we have arrow. And this arrow can continue to here. And this one continue to here. No, like this. Okay, let's try this first. Так. So we do have middle line in these sections. Okay, and I draw this arrow. So because we already have this section, now it's more easy to see middle part, right? It's much better than if I will from beginning draw its more parts. Just freehand try to find this middle part much easier. You see? So I just double check this one here. Okay. And now from other side. Так. And and we kind of keep this line to here. This line to here. This line to here. Так. And then this one will be here. I don't really sure if we like this. Just try. Will be my design. Okay, so now we have this division on a round surface. So now again I start to carving. Just edit. Put this space. Так. So idea of a right sequence in a drawing, it's like each step should be easy and easy to control and kind of not stressful to draw, you know. So like now I have just draw double line. It's just fun. Так. And here. So it's also like this. But if I start from double line, if I from beginning try to draw all this pattern, you can imagine it's kind of crazy. No, maybe after I will draw this kind of thing 100 times or 1000 times, I'm sure I will able to draw it just in one touch, you know. So just question of time. Так. And here carving. Так, carving this thing. Here we can put some kind of shading. show this transition. Because like I want it to be just kind of some soft round transition here. Так. And then actually I cut it too much, it will be more here. Some more. Так, and here I close the stuff. So let's erase it a little bit. So see something like this. So it's same idea for every wheel. It's just like you watch from beginning this today live video. I have a record. I will put it later. It's just difference is how deep is carbon. This one it's easiest to draw. No, this one easiest. This more difficult because it's round, and this kind of is harder. Much harder because here carbon is, because on a truck carbon is pretty deep. But most craziest wheels, it's a dirt bike wheel. So let me show you. That's crazy. Так, so dirt bike, I will make here quarter of wheel like this. And I will put circle. Так. Так. So what is under the bike? They have this round wheel, and on this round wheel will be kind of this things. So it's like it's a very big carving here. So we can see kind of this roundness of tire below, and that's crazy. It's just so complex. So I will use first these 3 points. So because here it's like for understanding, it's really mind blowing. Так, my phone is battery low. Так. So then I need to project all these lines too. Так. Okay, then You will see this in your nightmares. This crazy dirt bike tire. Так. Ой, так, let's see. This one. Так. And now, so you see, for this kind of flat thing, we have this. Так. Maybe I use this. Okay. So, see, it will be this. Так, let me double check here. I have here some reference on computer. Okay. I just look how often, yeah, more often. So we keep some more of these things, and we use this line as edge, right? Так. Little Russia, where my phone will off. Yeah, and all this time, you see, I keep this idea of line directions. So it's kind of this middle part there. Так. Then this one, this thing. Let's click another pen. Another will be. Так. This one will be kind of like this. Yeah, and it's already a shortcut, because it should be kind of for every of them. You need to know this curve thing. That's crazy. Так. So kind of this. Так. And other side, then where you start to thrill. Okay, because now I need to project this on other side. Так. And так, it's here. It's here. That's there. Kind of this. This here. It's kind of this here. Okay, let's start to put this. Так. This will be kind of like this. Two easiest ones. Так. This is very cool practice. So put boxes on a round surface. Так. This. Yes, so I already lost this here. It should be more like this. Here. Okay, so так. Так. Yeah, so I very quick finishing because my phone almost off, so I will stop and save this stream. Next time we'll talk about how to draw in disk, and also I want to show some examples from other artists, how they draw wheels, and kind of copy them to show to kind of analyze their way of drawing wheels. It's very interesting. They have very cool artists. Так. It's kind of this. So it's like dirt bike quarter of tire tread. So here I was trying all this time. I was trying to draw this stuff. That's crazy, but it's really cool for your perspective practice. Yeah, thank you for watching. See you next time. Так, how to finish? How to stop? Так, and bye guys.